Rosa, I'm so glad you said mind control. It's such a pivotal term of art that needs to be understood, because you mentioned earlier, you too, James, about how it is that this is being this agenda is being introduced to the through the general population by empowering some and painting it as a kind of a universal buy-in. And so, what I wanted to bring to your attention, invite your comment, is I've been doing some research recently into historical roots and development of altruism. We're talking about at the university academia level, and its tie-in with what is known as the Tikkun Olam, which is a Jewish concept of which means repair of the world. And this is where I have discovered the language and how it's being manipulated so that people are led to believe that this is such a wonderful thing and how they're deceived. Because an example of that is tonight I was doing some research on something called soiltrust.com. Soiltrust.com. And it sounds like a wonderful thing. And I looked at the people behind its management, the board of directors, how these things are funded. A similar program is something called community-supported agriculture.
Right.
But within all segments of society, whether it's industry or law or academia, medicine, science, I'm seeing how this language is manipulated, and the only people that are able to get funding or anything that they want to do have to buy into this kind of coded language in order to receive support.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Any comment?
Like it's displaying the gang symbols in order to get the gang funding. I think that
Exactly.
must be part of it. Well, Rosa, your thoughts on that?
Well, they've been funding every university, colleges, whatever you want to call it, schools, public schools. I don't know how much is in the private schools, but I'm sure it's getting there too. But it has been funded to re-educate the population. So like all the future generations are completely re-educated. And it has been for decades. So that they can change our future, right? So this whole spaying and neutering that is happening right now, it has been educated for generations. I mean, for decades. It didn't just happen when Obama passed the law 2012 or whatever year that he passed that they can, gays can get married. No, it was way before that. And they just rolling it out later because the funds need to be there. So, and how much evil they can accomplish through funds, right? Because God's word didn't stutter. It said money is root of all evil, and it literally says that. They're literally doing the fact that every law firm, doctors, scientists, schools, everything is on the same board, and all are funded to keep this rolling. And the moment that they want to step out and not comply with this, because a lot of people, they're going to say, no way. They're going to realize what they are doing, and they're going to say, oh, no, I cannot comply with this, right? They will try to step out, and they will be taken out, replaced. Just like, well, not exactly to that extent, but Fauci messed up, and they know that he messed up, so they quickly replaced him with someone else. And they knew that he was going to get hit, so that's why they took him out. And the shadows that they don't want us to see is that they've literally been poisoning us since we were babies. Poisoned through this medical intervention of folks?
Well, Tikkun Olam is, it's about doing for the world. What you're talking about with altruism is something that actually is wrongly associated with Christianity. It's the theory by Auguste Comte that says that in fact you're supposed to do for others. And so what this ends up looking like really is communism. And because I'm not, now we're not talking about communism here, we're talking about communitarianism, and this is something different. But what we're looking at is with social equity, that it's, this is put, they're using guilt. And they're saying that basically that those of us in the developed world have too much. This is what sustainable development is. What is considered to be unsustainable is single family residences, private vehicles, meat eating, appliances, air conditioning. And so this is everything that you're accustomed to living with in the developed world, and what you wish to have, if you're aspiring to the middle class, at least. This is considered to be a source of guilt. And so what we're dealing with here is a number of different philosophies that come together that all justify basically taking away your right to be your livelihood and your right to be independent, and to give you the sense that you need to redefine progress and redefine the way that you relate to the world, because you need to be ashamed that you are associated with anything that would exploit the natural resources. You see, this concept says that the resources of the world are finite. So there's no such thing as renewable resources like water, or, so you then have to be charged the real cost of water. And this is another way we are being impoverished by the implementation of this plan.
All right.
Also, I saw this site recently. How Georgian Guidestone saying, control the resources, be balanced with the population, all of that stuff. Well, this lines up with this. But this worldcounts.com, and it's basically trying to put us into this fear that there's just not enough resources. You see, tons of resources being extracted from the earth, and they've been controlling our resources. They're the ones that are taking it out, using it for their evil stuff, while they're giving us the dirty stuff. But what I want to show, I want to show stuff like this, where you see the population is just getting too big, and the number of planets the earth will need to sustain such growing human population. It's insane. Stuff like this, that basically, if the population will grow and continue be like the way that it is now, which agenda or Georgian Guidestone is saying that they want to keep only 500 million people, but we are 8 billion people. So they must depopulate the rest. I need to find a new word to say that. Anyway, but basically, the end of the world as we know it, the fact that it's 26 years left. If the world is a population that it is, using that many resources that it's using, it's the same people. And they will literally manipulate us to enslave our own selves. There was somewhere, I'm not sure, this site is kind of confusing, you have to dig in there, but it basically said we have 26 years left of water. You know, it's just like crazy stuff like this, you know? And I know if we would even just like challenge that and say, okay, let's wait 26 years, let's see what happens. And I'm telling you, we're going to live. There is no global warming happening. I don't really think that these people at the toppest level that worship Satan, they actually believe this nonsense. They just want to achieve immortality, which was promised by Satan to them, as he told them, this is what you must do to sacrifice us to him. US dollars spent on organic food. What are you talking about? We've been poisoned with artificial crap for like so many years. I'm surprised that we're still organic humans some way. And the fact that UN goals, number 1 is no poverty. Number 2, no hunger or zero hunger. It's pathetic because that's exactly what is happening. Like, they're pushing us into poverty. They're pushing us into no food. They're destroying our food supply completely. This is madness. This is misinformation right in front of our faces while they're saying that our conspiracists are misinformation. This is literally psychological warfare. Good health and well-being, with being poisoned with the shots over and over as if God didn't create us already perfect. Quality education, gender equality, while they're destroying every gender that we could possibly have. While they're giving transgenders genders, they're gonna wipe it all out with transhumanism. Clean water and sanitation, really, because every water is poisoned. Clean energy, yeah, well, that's not sustainable at all. Economic growth, decent work. I wonder what that means, because AI is going to take all of our jobs and make us feel useless. While they give us maid and sex work as a sustainable cities. That's jail cells. One eye worship. They love one eye worship. Life before water. They're literally poisoning our food. And they're saying, this is what we're going to take care of. So yeah, this is literally, they're destroying every system that we know, so that they will bring out this crap to us and say, we're here. We are your saviors. UN used to be good, but they've been hacked. Because this is governance. ESG, it's literally economical, social governance. But basically, this is what it's going to boil down to. You're going to trust God, which is the Bible, and He's every word that He has spoken. And if you don't, you're going to trust in this manipulation. And if you trust in them, there's a downfall to every organic life. Because AI is recreation of every organic life into artificial one. That is what the knowledge of AI is. Artificial intelligence. Trust in the Lord. Matthew 10:28.